What's up, Deadheads? It's DR.KOBA doing another review. Just trying to knock some things out. And what we have here is Filmore West, San Francisco, California, 6/5/69, 6/7, and then 6/8/69. So we have 3 days in a row from not the Summer of Love, but it's as close as it gets. From the 60th anniversary Enjoying the Ride box set. I'm enjoying the ride. I've been enjoying these rides. I take a ride when I'm listening to these. I don't listen to them at home, really. I listen to them when I'm out and they're in the car. And it's kind of the best way to listen to the Dead, for me at least. But what we have here is probably some of the best I've ever heard out of the box set yet. And I've heard maybe half of the box set at this point in time. This stuff surprised the hell out of me. It was as good as 69. Sometimes it doesn't hit for me. Sometimes it really hits. It's really a specific kind of sound. And this is an awesome an awesome front to this. And here's what the back looks like as well. But this one knocked my socks off, and I wasn't expecting it. We have the full 6/5 show, so you have full force, psych, primal energy, Dead, but it's also they're turning into the different band. You have the both forces happening at the same time. So you open with Morning Dew, which is great. You have it's the classic version, Morning Dew, and then we're going into Me and My Uncle. So we have the country roots happening at the same time. So we have the stark, slow Morning Dew. We have the up-tempo country rock thing happening with Me and My Uncle. It's awesome. The recording is like fine analog wine. You're hearing the sounds of 1969 is authentic as it gets. It is almost like being there. Awesome. You doing that rag from Oxamoa, that's rare enough as it is. It's not going to come. It's not going to be played too much more. So anytime you hear that, we have the classic version, Dead, psych energy happening, great rock energy. It goes into an unreleased track called "He Was a Friend of Mine," which is about 10 minutes long. It's clear why they probably didn't do anything with the song, but it appears twice on this set, and both times it's great because they're playing something different. They're playing something that you don't get to hear them ever play again. It's a nice slow build. You get they just sort of relax and they space out on it. I dig it. He Was a Friend of Mine. It's a good stuff. And then we get Hard to Handle. So we're into sort of foreshadowing of the 70s with rock. We got Pigpen coming in. We got rock music. You still have the 60s accoutrement happening. You have Cosmic Charlie. So we haven't left the Haight Ashbury. We haven't left, even if you're being called home, you haven't left yet. And we have the big one. We have a Cryptical Drums other one, from and then go back into Cryptical. So we have the full suite. Just as good, just rocking psych energy, some dark psych energy, and it's cool that it's the full suite. We got the two drummers. We have Pigpen. We have I do believe, yep, we still also have Tom Constantin here. So you've got the full classic band from Live Dead era. This is of the same quality. And then we get into 6/5 on disc 2. So it's the end of maybe as much as they could find, because here they say that these incredible recordings made by Bear during 3 of the 4 nights of the June 69 run are most of what was salvageable from the tapes. Some of the recordings had technical issues that made them unreleasable, is what Dave says. So what we get there is China Cat sitting on top of the world into Dark Star. And so this Dark Star is interesting. The China Cat is as good as it gets when it comes to where the psych energy is, and it is clearly 1969. Going into Sitting on Top of the World is a fun detour. They don't usually do that. It's not going to be a normal one. You don't really see that one a lot, so it's a cool little detour. Here we get classic era Dark Star. Um, it's not like the two 1470 Dark Star, but all those elements are still there. And it's also not unlike the Live Dead Dark Star. It's a weird hybrid where they do the opening verses, the opening jamming, and then there is some feedback, but it's kind of ambient and it's kind of just patient. And they go back into the second verse. The psych energy is there. It's like fine wine, and it wouldn't necessarily blow your head off, but it won't not. It's a good psych journey. We go into the next day, the next 6-7. So not we started on 6-5, so we've jumped over. We have a pretty rough dire wolf, early dire wolf. So we have the country band is coming back into view a little bit. So that's it's an early version of that stuff. We have Dupree's Diamond Blues, which is great. You know, anytime that we get some of that Oxymoximo material, I'm here for it. Into and then we have the Mountains on the Moon Dark Star couplet, which is very much a piece of Live Dead. I dug this Dark Star more. Mountains of the Moon was good. I really love Mountains of the Moon. It's a very relaxing Baroque type of chord progression, and it leads you into Dark Star. And so you have the classic version Dark Star happening here, but Jerry after the first verse starts a cool guitar lick that is overdriven and rock kind of, and he kind of builds it, and they all kind of take a piece of it, and it is a lot more psych energy rock guitar focused than the earlier Dark Star, and so that one gets the nod from me. I thought it was great. So that closes out the disc. You get two 20-minute Dark Stars, and anytime you get a 1969 Dark Star, and then you get two of them, like how could you say no? We get into the third disc, the final disc on 6-8, and so we open up with classic 60s version, Dancing in the Streets. They go into a good little jam there. He Was a Friend of Mine shows back up again. It's just as good as on 6-5, just as relaxing, just as just expanding. And then we get China Cat again. And so we get China Cat into New Potato Caboose. All this stuff is so good. It's like 1968 Grateful Dead, but they're much more confident and they're much more polished, and they have really honed the material. This is just as good as anything. I enjoyed it. We got Me and My Uncle, so we're back into foreshadowing of the 70s and the rock band and the country rock flavor. To end the disc, you have Cryptical Drums, other one, and then Cosmic Charlie. So we have this jam, and so we have another great early 60s version of Cryptical. We have the two drums solo, which is cool. And then we have the primal dark energy of other one here, which I thought was better than the one on 6-5, but they're just as good. And again, this is all grade A material. This probably could have been released as a day's pick itself. And then Cosmic Charlie. So here we have pretty much all of the good parts of Oxymoximoa, and for the most part, like Anthem of the Sun, you have is just they're really how do I want to say, they have refined the material, and this is as good as it gets. It's compact, it's professional, there's nothing bad there. It just sounds extraordinarily of the time period. It is like a picture from 1969. You couldn't get any more 1969. Maybe from the tape that's in the box set too, which I've heard a little bit of it, is literally like being transported back to 1969. And this is what it would be like. You have bell bottoms and you have long hair. You've got Vietnam happening. This is a time capsule. So this one gets a grade A plus for me. I don't really care about grading, but this one would be one that I would probably say is as good as it gets from the box set. So again, you know, 6'5", 6'7", 6'8", 69 from the Filmore West Carousel Ballroom. Gosh, so good.